What's up, true gamers out there? It's your boy Sega Man, back here with another video. I hope you guys really been enjoying some of the videos that I've been doing, man. Um, Game Talk with Sega Man will be coming up this weekend, but I just been enjoying doing these videos, guys. I've been getting a lot of comments and good comments about the videos that I've been doing, man. You know what I'm saying? About the games that I collect, okay? And I want to do another one here. I hope you guys really enjoy this. And, get some ideas out of this next video that I'm doing on game hunting and collecting for certain games that you might like that are affordable. So this is called Neo Geo games that are affordable, okay? Because when I was younger, I rocked out the Sega Genesis, The TurboGrafx 16 was around, as, the old school gamers out there know, you know what I'm saying? And some of the new gamers out there, the new players, they're kind of catching on. They're kind of catching on by watching videos that I do and other people do if they want to know some background about some of these games. But if you're going to get into collecting Neo Geo games, they're very expensive. When I was younger, I went to a mom and pop's game video store. And this is when the Neo Geo came out, okay? The guy that owned the store actually had where you can rent. And I didn't rent it because even to rent the Neo Geo and the games, it was expensive. It wasn't what the games cost if you were to buy the game originally in the system. But it was up there for a rental place. So I couldn't even do that. So you can imagine how much it costs for, I think it was the AES, they called it, system. Very expensive. The first time I ever seen a Neo Geo was in an old game store called Babbage's, okay? Which was an electronics boutique, I believe, back then. And it was over $1,000. I remember seeing it. It was over $1,000. There was a black one, and I believe there was a gold-looking one. I can't really remember. But I remember I went in there to get Streets of Rage 2 when it came out. And back then, that was $50. When I went to get Streets of Rage 2, I'm looking at this Neo Geo. And the games are like this big. They're tapes. They're big. Each game was $100 a piece. Some of them were even more, like $150, $180 for one tape. These were original ports that were in the arcade, that were in the motherboard, I believe, inside of the Neo Geo arcade cabinet that they put inside there. So they were the original game. So you actually had an original console, Neo Geo, with the original games that you would play in the arcade. And that thing was just so expensive, man. And it sat there for a while because it was just, people couldn't afford it. I'm pretty sure later on down the line, somebody bought the system and the games. But they were really awesome games that I played back in the arcade days, But what we're going to talk about today is each game I have here is from different systems. It's not just from Xbox. It's from different systems, okay? And I believe today some of these games are actually still affordable if you want to get into collecting Neo Geo games that are on other systems. Physically, you can find them at a good price. Now, you can always download the emulator games that are on your Xbox One X or Series X. You know what I mean? And they're $7 a piece. And those games on there, even the emulator ones, some of those games on there are unimaginably expensive on a Neo Geo. I'm talking like $300-400 a game. Some of those games that are on there, man. That's the only way you're going to be able to play it unless you have cash like that. So let's get into it, guys. The first one that I'm going to show you here, these are a few from the Dreamcast that are very affordable. You know what I mean? Well, it depends. If you're a collector, you might want to collect for the Dreamcast, if you can't afford a Neo Geo, okay? You can also find this game backwards compatibility on the Xbox 360. And that is Fatal Fury, Mark of the Wolf, SNK. You could find this game on there. You know what I mean? That's a really good fighting game. Neo Geo was mostly known pretty much for their fighting games. I would say it was one of the most popular out of there. Like, you had the Metal Slugs, and you had like other games that came out on the system that were popular. But when I was growing up, a lot of people just played a lot of the fighting games. But Mark of the Wolf, you might be able to find this for $50. Okay, if you're into collecting, you know what I mean. If you want to get it cheaper and you want it digitally, Xbox is your ticket. You can get it on the Xbox 360, I believe, a lot cheaper. But the Mark of the Wolf is for the Dreamcast. It is a great fighting game, from the Fatal Fury series, and it's very, very enjoyable. I own both. I own the digital and the physical. But this is a great game. Another one here you can also get digitally on here, but like I said, if you want to collect physically, is Last Blade 2, Heart of the Samurai. That's another great game that you can get on your Sega Dreamcast. You know what I mean? You might be able to find these games cheaper, guys. I'm not sure. It's really hard in 2021 and like 2020 and down to really find these games in great condition and for a very good price. Like, you're not going to go out and find this complete for $10 today. You're just not. You might find it for $35, $40, and that depends on if it's a Japanese import. You know what I mean? It seems like the U.S. versions of these games are way more expensive than Japanese imports, because I looked that up. You can buy Japanese import games like Saturn games that are cheaper than the U.S. version. You know what I mean? But this is a really good, awesome samurai, samurai game. It's like Samurai Showdown on crack. It's a really good game. But you can also get the emulator on your Xbox One X or Series X, or you can get it on there digitally, but physically, no. Another one here is called The King of Fighters Evolution. This is another great game that was on the Dreamcast. You know what I mean? And I would say that it's probably in the $30, $40 range. You might be able to find it for that if you want to collect, for it. You know what I'm saying? SNK, Neo Geo. But it's another good fighting game, you know what I mean, that came out on the Dreamcast before the Dreamcast actually passed away. You know what I mean? But it's really good. It's a really good fighting game. I enjoyed it and had a lot of fun with it. Boy, I'm getting a lot of text here. The next one here is called King of Fighters Dream Match 99. That's another great game. 100 likes these games, you know what I mean? But it's another great game, you know what I mean? Give me a second, guys. I got to pause this. Give me 1 second. All right, sorry about that, guys. But this is another great game that you can buy. I believe you can get this back compat on a 360. I think you can find Dream Match on the 360 also. It's another great game, you know what I mean, by SNK. You know what I mean? It's good to have these games because, if you can't afford, where it originated from, which was the Neo Geo, this is another alternative if you want to enjoy these games. Some of them look just as good sometimes as the Neo Geo. You know what I mean? So it's definitely worth investing in if you're going to collect. Now, let's check out this game. This is called Metal Slug, right? Metal Slug Double X. Double X. And this is by, actually, SNK Play More and actually Atlas. And that is on your PSP. If you own a PSP, this is I believe it's affordable. You might be able to find just the game for, I don't know, $10, $13. Now, if you want it in the case, it might be $30, $35. I don't know. I'm not sure. You know what I mean? But this is if you're into mobile and you have a PSP, you didn't know that Metal Slug was on it, now you know. This is one of the good games that's on the portable PSP. You know what I mean? It's got great graphics. You know what I mean? It plays very well, and it's an awesome game to own on your PSP. Now, the next one we have here, I'm going to show this one. I'm not going to show that one right now. This is another Metal Slug, okay? I love the Metal Slug games. And this is called Metal Slug Anthology. And this, I believe, if I'm correct, it is the 10th anniversary version of Metal Slug Anthology. And it has all the Metal Slug games on there. It has Metal Slug 1, 2, Metal Slug X, Metal Slug 3, Metal Slug 4, Metal Slug 5, and available for the first time, Metal Slug 6. That's all these games that are on here. Metal Slug Anthology is a great game on the Wii. The Wii had some gems, and this is definitely one of the gems. And I hate to say this, it might be kind of affordable. You might be able to find it. I could be wrong. You might can just get the disc, and the disc can be cheaper for you. But like I said, if you want to buy all the Metal Slugs on the Neo Geo, it's going to cost you way more than just buying this. But this is a great compilation of games that you get on one disc for the Wii. And it is great. I've played them all. And it is awesome. I love the Metal Slug series. I wish and pray that they bring out another one on the Xbox One X or Series X. That would be awesome. But it is a great compilation of games if you like Metal Slug. Great, great game. You know what I mean? Great collecting for too. Now, this was only on Xbox. This is Neo. This is Neo Wave, the King of Fighters. This game is actually back in pat for your Xbox One X, and it is from the OG Xbox, and that is this game here. Like I told you guys, it's a great fighting game. You know what I mean? This should be kind of affordable. I would say probably in the $10, $15 range. You could probably pick this up. But it is a great fighting game. I was really into fighting games in the early 90s. I had a lot of fighting games. Still own a lot of fighting games today. But it should be kind of affordable. You can also get this digitally on your Xbox. But if you, like I said, if you want to collect physically, you can find these sometimes on the cheap. If you do your research, search on game sites, you can probably find some of these games cheap. You know what I mean? So you can have a physical copy of it. You know what I mean? I enjoy collecting physical copy of games, and that's just never going to change. Even though we're in a digital world and it's gone digitally, you know what I mean? I still believe there will be physical copy of games because they know that there is diehard collectors out there like myself that will pick it up. You know what I mean? Like there's going to be the new archetype coming out. I'm going to pick the archetype up physically for the Xbox One X. I'm picking that up physically. I'm not buying it digitally. I want that because it's a shmup, and I'm in the shmup game, so I'm going to definitely go out and buy that when it comes out physically. So the next game we got here that was on the Xbox is Metal Slug 4 and Metal Slug 5. You can find it on your OG Xbox. You could probably find it for $15, $20. That's affordable. Maybe $25. I don't know. It could have went up in price. But that's another great game that, like I said before, Neo offered. And we got another one here. This is actually two together, okay? This is the King of Fighters 2003 and the King of Fighters 2002. And it is 2 discs. You can find that on your original Xbox. You probably can collect it for your PlayStation 2. If you want to collect for your PlayStation 2, I believe it's on there. And it came with 2 discs. 2 discs. Right there. Book. You know what I mean? Very collectible if you're into these fighting games. And very affordable. Another one we got here. Don't really hear much about this, really. This is called the King of Fighters Maximum Impact. And it's another great game. I found this on the cheap back then. You know what I mean? That's another great one to collect for. I don't know if this was on the Neo Geo. This might not have been on the Neo Geo. I'm not sure. SNK play games. I don't know if this was. I'm not too sure about this one. But it's a good game to collect for if you're into collecting for SNK and Neo Geo. It's a great fighting game. It's pretty good. It's more of a 3D, virtual, but it's a like virtual fighter stuff like that. It's a great game, guys. It's a great game. Another one here that was only on Xbox that you can back then on the OG Xbox. You can get this via emulation on your Xbox One X, the Series X. Is Samurai Showdown 5, I believe? Yeah, I think, yeah. The Arcade Classic. Only on Xbox. Get that right here. Originally, if you want to collect. You know what I mean? If you want to, like I said, it'll be probably more expensive on, like on the Neo Geo, but this is a great game. I believe you can, like I said, on the emulation, you can get that on there, I believe. On there, but this is another great game. The graphics and the color in this original OG Xbox game of this fighting game was phenomenal. Really outrageous, really crazy looking characters in this game, and I like it. It's very, very strange fighting game, and I really love it, man. It's an awesome game. You know what I mean? You could probably find this for $15, $20. It depends on where you go, like I said. You know what I mean? In complete, it might be a little more, but it's affordable, is what I'm saying. So, now the rest of these games were games that did not come out on the original OG Xbox. You have to have a PlayStation 2 to collect these games. These are great games. These are definitely very expensive that were on the Neo Geo if you wanted to buy them one by one. And you can buy these games too on a Sega Genesis. They're not going to be more as close as the arcade versions than you see on these PlayStation 2 versions of these games. And the first one I got here, I paid $4 for, used. Still in great condition. Awesome game. Is Fatal Fury Volume 1, Battle Archives. I picked that up really cheap for the PlayStation 2. You know what I mean? And on the back of here, this is awesome because it has a compilation of the games. It has Fatal Fury 1, 2, Fatal Fury Special, and Fatal Fury 3, which is awesome. All these games came out on the Neo Geo, and they were very expensive. Very good condition with the book. These are great games. They did very well with the sound effects in the PlayStation 2 versions of these games. Sounds just like if you were in the arcade. It is very, very awesome. Very awesome compilation of games that's on this disc. And I believe you can find these still cheap. These might actually be better for you to collect for on the cheap than the original OG Xbox. I remember going to the exchange and remember seeing a couple of these still, I think a year ago, for like $5, $8. So very, very awesome to collect for, guys. You got to buy a PlayStation 2 if you want to play these awesome fighting games that we enjoyed in our era, in the 90s and up. These are great games, guys, and very affordable. Now, this one here, I found it, you won't believe it, Five and Below was selling these, and I bought them all, and I'll tell you which ones they are, okay? One by one. This is on the PlayStation 2. This is the World Heroes Anthology. These are very expensive games that were out on the original Neo Geo, and this is the anthology that has all the games on here. It has World Heroes 1, which is my favorite. You can get that on your Xbox. World Heroes 2, World Heroes Jet, and World Heroes Perfect. Okay? If you want to collect physically. And this is it here for the PlayStation 2. This was $5 at Five and Below. I can't even remember. It might have been 2016. I can't remember. It was a long time ago when I was at work. When I used to work as a security, as a when I used to clean buildings and stuff like that, I had keys to buildings and stuff like that. I worked for a really good janitorial company back in the day, and I stopped at Five and Below to get something. I think some chips or something, while I was on a break. And I seen these in there, and I bought them all. And this is all of them. Sound effects, graphics are awesome. PlayStation 2 did a really good job with this compilation of games, this anthology. And you can still, I believe, find these very cheap. $5, $6, $7, $8. It's definitely worth collecting for, man. If you don't want to dig deep in your pockets, real deep for that Neo Geo. Now, this one I got here is really awesome. I played a lot of this on the PlayStation 2 when I first got it. I was very excited to get this. Because I know, hands down, this also was from Five and Below, that these games on here are very expensive. You can download these games now on your Xbox One X. And that is the SNK Arcade Classics Volume 1. Okay, Volume 1. And it has a slew of games on here, man. A slew of games. You can get that for $5. You know what I'm saying? It has Art of Fighting, King of the Monsters, Last Resort, which was a great shoot 'em up game. The Metal Slug, Samurai Showdown. You know what I mean? King of Fighters 94, Top Hunter. There was a lot of games on here. Golf game, baseball game. You know what I mean? Just a lot of great games that were on here, man. And it is very awesome to collect for games that didn't come on the other systems back in the day. Very worth collecting for, man. $5. You know what I mean? All these games on here are over $1,000. If you want to get these all on the original Neo Geo, way over. Probably like $2,500. Could be more, but awesome to collect for, man. Awesome. Now, this other one here is the Volume 2 Fatal Fury Battle of Volume 2 Archives, okay? I got this there too, and this is actually has Fatal Fury Real Bout, another great game. Fatal Fury Special Real Bout, and RB2, the new something. I can't see it. New something, newcomers or something. I can't really see it, guys. But that's it right there. You get all those games on there. $5 at Five and Below. I come back a few days later, they were gone. All of them. They were gone. I got there at a really good time. There was another one I had. I forgot it. There was another one I had too that I didn't pull out that I'll show in a later video. But it is awesome. These fighting games are awesome. Very awesome. Now this one here I got, which is my last game. It is the Art of Fighting Anthology. Okay? Art of Fighting was a very awesome game in the arcade. Sound effects were loud. You knew when you hit your opponent, man, it would make this that sound. It was awesome. You can hear it through the arcade. You know what I mean? And this has Art of Fighting 1, 2, and then it has the Path of the Warrior. I got that for $6 at my exchange. The graphics are just like, in my opinion, just like the Neo Geo. Just like if you were playing it in the arcade. And these games are not easy. They're very challenging, but they're very good. Very good fighting games, man. And that is the Art of Fighting. But I wanted to just show you guys collecting very affordable fighting games that were on a Neo Geo. You could probably find pretty cheap. You might be able to find these sometimes if we'll ever get out again to go to flea markets and stuff like that. You might find them in thrift stores. I haven't seen them in thrift stores yet. Used stores, you know what I mean? Depending on where you live, swap meets, like my boy Hunter in LA. But these are great games to collect for, guys. If you don't want to break the bank. And these were on different systems that I showed you. Okay, and I'm glad to have these in my game collection. And I still love and play these games today. That's what collecting's all about. Talking about the era back then, playing these games over again and talking about them today on YouTube, on my channel, man. That's what it's all about. So you guys have a great day. We got the weekend coming up. You know what I mean? I hope you guys are enjoying everything you're playing. I want to give a shout out to Hebot. I want to give a shout out to 108's Dragon. I want to give a shout out to Slick Slayer. I want to give a shout out to 100 Intro Media Gaming. Check out those brothers. Xbox Has No Game. I want to give a shout out to my crew, the Exile Podcast, the Don King of Xbox, E-Rock X, my brother that I rock out with, man. You know what I'm saying? On our podcast, the Exile Podcast with the Exile Brothers, every Sunday night, 8 o'clock. Come and rock out with us, man. 8 p.m. Sunday nights. You know what I'm saying? We have great shows. We have great people that come in and support us on the Exile Podcast. You know what I mean? Come and rock out with us, guys. Come and check me out Saturdays. Game Talk with Sega Man with special guest Hebot. And I'm going to try to get my boy Slick Slayer on there this weekend. I hope Slick sees this video. I'm going to see if I can get Slick Slayer on there. We're going to chop it up. What's going on in gaming news and in the gaming community. I really enjoy doing Game Talk with Sega Man. I'm glad that you guys support me and my channel and support my podcast. I really appreciate it. You know, I'm a small YouTuber. My numbers go up and down. I really don't care. As long as you like rocking out with the Sega Man, it's all good over here. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to have big subscription numbers. If people subscribe to me, gamers subscribe to me, that's cool. And then if you subscribe to me, I'll subscribe back to you. But please don't be, please don't troll me. You know what I'm saying? And then I subscribe back to you and find out that you're, some kind of troll just waiting for me to say something about what I believe about the Xbox and PlayStation thing, and then you want to come and try to dog my channel out or whatever, because then I'm going to let you go and then I'm going to block you. That's just the way it is. You know what I mean? I have my opinions on things, and I'm allowed to voice my opinion on my own platform. So I want to just thank everybody for supporting me. I want to thank everybody for subscribing to my channel, man. Sega Man, really appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? Be safe out there, guys. You know what I mean? And I hope you have a fun weekend playing games on whatever you rock out with. You know what I'm saying? Peace and love. Xbox for life. We don't die. We multiply. And oh, yeah. Wear your goddamn mask. Peace.